Ahora de Cuba la Bella, del Palacio de los Jugos, los chicharrones. Los vecinos aquí se enteran de todo.
Mi vecina era CDR en Cuba.
Y en verdad no hay nothing that you can do. Chacleteras sin llames con corbata.
Aquí yo vendo hot dog, pero en Cuba yo era médico.
Le saco el dedo y digo Q. Sweet home Hialeah. Solo 30 minutos de Le Fallo. Oh, sweet home Hialeah. I hate your traffic, but I love you. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of East 10th Street Boys. I'm your host, Bobby Fins Talk, waiting for Alex Atiachiska, who is on Cuban time, but I blame myself because I told him I had to eat dinner. It might be a few minutes late. He said, no worries. I'll go take care of some things. Let me know when you're ready. And I was ready, almost right on the dot. So we're still waiting on him. I'm here. We got plenty to talk about tonight. Again, you're watching East 10th Street Boys on the Fitz Talk Sports Network. There he is, right on time. What's up, my brother?
What's up, my man? She literally just sat down.
Yeah, I told everybody, you're on Cuban time, but it's my fault. I'm the one who told you, hey, I'm gonna be a little late because I'm trying to rush through dinner.
I was actually early. I was actually already sitting down, and I go back upstairs to watch the Heat game, and I'm like, nah, I'm the one that's late. It's wrong. That's fucked up, man. Fucked up.
But everybody there, you're watching East 10th Street Boys straight out of Hialeah on the Fitz Talk Sports Network. If you're new to the channel, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, X, or listening on podcast, we appreciate you. Come over to the YouTube channel, hit that like and subscribe button. So much to talk about. As Alex said, the Heat are playing. They're up 72-71 right now on the Los Angeles Lakers in a big game here. This is not a tournament game, right? This is a regular.
No.
Okay, this was not a tournament one.
Yeah.
All right. But the guys are showing out.
If you don't see the court out there with a trophy in the middle, you're good to go. It's not.
Okay, so there you go. That's why I was thinking about it. Got it here. And of course, then we're going to touch on the Dolphins game from yesterday. Miami. I call these those measuring stick games, and Miami did not measure up yesterday. Obviously, if you were watching post game yesterday, you know what my reaction was, what my thoughts were. So I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to leave it to my brother here to give his thoughts on it. Dolphins lose 21-14. They were down 21-0 at the half, which was devastating. I mean, they had two touchdowns by the Chiefs offense, and a forced fumble that was recovered. They lateraled it to Snead, and he ran for the touchdown. So the offense gave up a touchdown. It wasn't a pick six. Tyreek caught it. It was one of those screens, Alex.
Yeah.
He tore it out of his hands, Trent McDuffie, and they took it to the house. So just, it sucks. But the positive thing is out of it, and I do have my critiques, and I heard a lot of critiques yesterday. But the positive thing to look at in the end is that the Dolphins are 6-3 going into the bye, the number one team in the AFC East. But before we get into deeper to that, Alex, you watched that game, I know you caught the end of it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you were able to catch up on everything. What are your thoughts on the game, man?
Well, first and foremost, I'm pretty sure, obviously, I was going to see some more reaction on Twitter, and I did. Just some of them justifiably so. What I take from the game, obviously, Bob, is that I really like where this defense is going when fully healthy. That's a huge plus, and it's something that we've talked about from the beginning of the year. Let Fangio get his guys. Let his guys get comfortable with Fangio's system, and you're going to see some of these games are going to start trending our way. Now, the plus that I take from this is it wasn't a blowout. We were toe-to-toe with the Super Bowl champs on an away game. I know there were away tours in Germany, but it's a situation where you're down 21-0. You want to see what adjustments are made. I feel that this is one of those. I know it's one of these measuring stick games, but I still figure we're still a young team trying to get there, and you have teams across the league that even struggling. For example, the Bills in our own division, they seem to be kind of falling apart once again, and those are the situations where I analyze and I'm like, I know it happens against these teams, and it tends to happen when we're always on the road. We don't struggle against these teams at times at home. I know last year with Tua being out, and it's not an excuse on Tua because I feel that once again we beat ourselves. I don't feel that the Chiefs outmatched us. I don't feel that the Chiefs are a better overall football team than us. So it's one of those dilemmas where it's no excuses because you didn't win, you didn't deliver, you didn't come through, you didn't perform. But once again, you look at it and you're like, shit, we beat ourselves again with a bad snap onto a miscommunication with Cedric Wilson. So you're arguably possibly a bad snap away or a bad, I want to say, receiving of a snap away from being tied going into overtime. So those are situations where, yeah, there was many miscues and misplays throughout the game. The only knock, like I had mentioned to you before, McDaniel, I thought he might have ran it maybe one or two more times with a minute and I believe it was a minute and 30 something left or a minute and 40, two timeouts. You can kind of still you were in the 31-yard line. You can maybe 2 3 runs get you maybe 6 7 8 yards. So and what's crazy is that what hurts even more is when you see the replay where Tua just missed the snap. Water would have been open for a touchdown. So those are the things that you're like, oh man, like you knew the narrative was going to happen if we lost, and the way we lost. So,
and that's the thing. Like, if this was a true back and forth matchup, it might not as sting as bad. Problem was, Alex, is that they go down 21-0 at the half. A lot of miscues. Let me just say, first commentary in the house. Great to see him. Hooked Up Joe. Thank you for guys for commenting. We appreciate you all. Everyone who's watching. Defense for sure is trending up.
yes,
That's great. That's the best thing, especially coming into the bye and exiting the bye. That's a positive. They only here's the offense. They laid a dud. The offense was not great. Tua wasn't great. We're going to touch on Tua in a second. McDaniel, questionable play calls, all that whatnot. Is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. But you can't do that against this type of football team. All right, which are the Super Bowl champions, AFC champions, Kansas City Chiefs, whose defense is probably better than their offense anyway. And I was telling people all week.
Yes, they are.
I was saying,
and they're young.
Dolphins struggle against top 4 defenses or top 10 defenses. I know a lot of people say Dolphins struggle against top 500 teams, over 500 teams, which is true. But to me, it's the Dolphins offense, which is the most prolific right now, leading in all the categories, number 1 in rushing, number 1 in passing, number 1 overall. They do that against bad defenses. But when it comes time to go against these playoff defenses, the Bills, you got the Patriots, even though they beat the Patriots last week. You got the Patriots, you got the Bills, you got the Eagles, the Chiefs. Before that, with the Patriots scored 31, but before that, they only scored 14 points. And they're averaging 21.25 points a game, not counting yesterday. So that number probably came down a little bit. So Miami's offense needs to figure out how to play these better defenses. It's easy to take control of those. Yes. What's up? Yes.
Puerto Rico.
I had this in my closet forever, and I was like, I'm gonna wear that today. I was gonna pull that out. It was just disappointing. Again, if they would have lost, but it was a back and forth. Like the score says 21-14. And it's like, oh, dude, it was close. It wasn't close. It looked close. If you read the score, it wasn't that close. It did not feel close. You always knew Kansas City had control of the game. And it's crazy because I said it before the game. Keys of the game, control the clock. The Dolphins did that.
They did.
Convert on third down. They didn't do that. And the quote unquote miscommunication call. I think it was a poor. I think he's wide open.
Yeah,
he's wide open.
You can't justify. There's no way you've seen Tua make those throws consistently with Tyreek. So that part I could understand that's a complete miscommunication. Where I understand, obviously, you see him slant or you see him cut, so you can keep going straight. But if if he's also thinking, I'm like, all right, we're gonna run this route. He's gonna juke. He's gonna pretend he's gonna go. Then he's gonna cut right back. You can see where that was a
Yeah,
miscommunication.
but you see, that's where the criticism comes in about,
Exactly. Who's it
again,
on?
it doesn't matter if it's a system quarterback, and I don't. That's not
No,
a knock on anybody. But what
no,
I
at all.
will say, hey, what's up, Ender? What I will say though, when it comes to the one read criticism, it's plays like that. You should be able to adjust as the play's going. Yeah, maybe Cedric Wilson's supposed to. Let's say again, miscommunication. By saying that, you're putting it on Cedric Wilson. He was supposed to be there. He's supposed to be
Exactly.
where he threw it. Now, in
Exactly.
reality, when he sees it, whether he went and passed and he beat his corner, you as the top 10 quarterback in the NFL should be able to go, oh, right, bam. Another example was earlier in the game, the Dolphins got a first down with Durham Smythe. It was first down, Durham Smythe. Jalen Waddle was wide open for a touchdown. There was nobody next to him. But Tua went right to Durham Smythe. Why? Because that was his script. That's what we're supposed to look at. That's what separates Tua from these upper echelon guys like Pat Mahomes, the Bradys, those guys. He needs to be able to break from that shell. Yeah, and McDaniel's doing great wonders. Tua's not a bad quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's great against bad teams. But when it comes time with those lights are on and he faces those tough defenses, he shrinks. And you start to see the flaws in him. He's very mechanical. He's not having those. He doesn't adjust as the play goes down. The pocket breaks. He gets fidgety. He makes errors. And the pocket wasn't even messed up on that play. He had plenty of time to make that corner end zone to tie the game. But he threw it in the bottom, and they're going to say, oh, it's a miscommunication. Then you're going to blame Cedric, who scored a great touchdown earlier.
That's right.
But you're going to blame Cedric, who was wide open and beat his guy. Tom Brady would have threw that touchdown. Pat Mahomes would have threw that touchdown. That's the thing.
This year's going to come down to it's to me it's quite comical at times because I'm going to judge this year when it's all said and done after the playoffs and all that. But to me, it's hilarious how from even in the ESPN, all major networks, you go from 1 week when you're analyzing Tua and people how grand he is and he's thrown into these windows, and then when we lose, there's the alternatives of everything that is wrong with his game. Like I just want an even keel. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's the reputation that is building because of the struggles against these teams, against the records of these teams. But then, for example, you'll analyze Kansas City's what do you call it? Kansas City's record and who have they beaten, and then you start analyzing the Buffalo Bills and the record. Who have they beaten? Like it's something that could go on in the NFL at all times. But the problem is there's such a massive microscope on Tua and this younger team you're gonna overanalyze it when they struggle against good opponents, which is gonna happen. A young team that is trying to climb out of this is going to struggle against good defenses. That's the whole point. That's like you game plan for it. Now, when you finally break that barrier, that psychological barrier, then maybe you'll start even out. I don't know if it's affecting them psychologically, but McDaniel seems to be a person that can kind of push them through it. And if you see them, they're all positive. They're all like, "Hey, we're gonna see him again." So it's growing pains within a system of a young system, a new defensive coordinator. So I know it's early, and like I said, before the season started, Bob, me and you went through this, and I had him losing these 3 games to the opponents that we lost to. They were away games. I figured we were going to struggle. I felt some of them were going to be a little bit more competitive. I know some of those against the Bills, against the Eagles, it was a 2 possession where it was turnovers and then the game blew open. But against the Bills and the Eagles, in the beginning, which is funny to me, against the Bills and the Eagles, you felt it was going to be a shootout in the beginning, and then it turned lopsided. Against the Chiefs, it was the complete opposite. They were getting demolished in the first half, a miscue later to make it 21-0, and then you felt a different football team in the second half because we completely shut down the Chiefs in the second half. Arguably one of the best offenses in football with Pat Mahomes, even though they have young receivers, they're not the same. They're not as well as they were before. But if you look at Travis Kelce, what was it? 2 catches, like 15 yards or 16 yards. So the defense did their job. So what I'm going to take from this is I got my defense after the bye week exactly where I want them to be. Where after the bye week, and we still have tough opponents left with Baltimore.
Yes, we do.
So this is a moment where like, okay, Let's get rid of this. All right, we lost against three top 500. Okay, perfect. Let's get it done. Let's get it done now. Let's prove it to them now, week by week by week. I still got them finishing 13-4, 12-5. So I'm not far off of what I expected this team to be. I expected them to lose these 3 games. So me on the personal level, I'm not surprised. I understand the circumstances that we're looking at. I felt the O line did a good job.
Well,
I felt defensively we did a good job.
and I will say this, hold on, because you did have us beating the Buffalo Bills.
Well, yeah. After in season, yes, that's what I told you. Yeah. That's my only one.
I will say that I did, and that's something, I go back. I went back and looked today because I said I'm pretty sure is that, and I had my prediction show, which was on Fitz Talk today with Ian Berger, Big E, and Fish Tank Hank, and these were the 3 games. They had Miami 8-1, I think, going into the bye, losing only to the Eagles. At least Hank did, and I had Miami losing to the Buffalo Bills. I had them splitting with Buffalo, but they lost to Buffalo in Buffalo.
Yeah,
losing to the Eagles and losing to the Chiefs. So, according to what I had my prediction, it's going as planned. And again, better as planned because the Dolphins are the number 1 offense in the NFL.
Yes,
statistically, the defense is trending up.
Yes,
which is great. They went against again. But to be the man, you got to beat the man. To quote Ric Flair, the Chiefs are the man. They're the big brother in the AFC. They're the Super Bowl champions, and the Dolphins came up short. So, you got to hope that Miami going into the bye learns from this, collects itself, and you got to hope, which Tua is pretty good at. When Tua throws an interception, he's not on the sideline, with his head down or deflated, whatever. He gets going and then throws a touchdown on the next play. I will say, oh shit! This way, wow, Cherry, I think almost broke on me.
Be careful, bro.
That hurt my hip. Oh, that hurt my hip. I got bad hips. Shit, caught myself. Anyway, forgive me. I will say a point I brought up yesterday. There was 2 things I did not like.
Yeah, I can't help but think it would have been hilarious. Like you do fall, and then you see just the legs, like
to my feet,
next to your name, Bobby, and you still talking.
Anyway, so
the show must go
on. But what I will say is that the 2 things I didn't like before that game that I think needs to be fixed. First off, I did not like the vibe off Miami before the game, and you was during the national anthem between the quarterback. When you look at both quarterbacks, you look at Pat Mahomes, he's hyped, he's ready to go, and then you look at Tua, and I seriously tell you, go back and look before that game during after that. He looked like he just woke up. He looked like he's tired. His hair is all, he's just, he's like, I'm like, dude, you need some fire. You need to get your team rolling. And then they show Tyreek, and Tyreek is saying that it's just another game, but he's looking forward to scoring a touchdown and pointing it at Andy Reid and telling him, you should never have traded me. Dude, what is this? You know what I mean? It's like, this is one, if not the most important game of the season. This is the show that you're not a pretender, or you're not, because like you said, everybody overanalyzes the Dolphins, which really they do that with every team. But Miami, because the fact is, and just to be the other end of that, the reason why that is, Alex, the fact is, there's a lot of guys that were hyping and overhyping the Dolphins before the Dolphins did anything.
Yes.
So then, when they have
territory.
Exactly. They overhype. So when the Dolphins falter, the other ones who said, "Oh wait, I told you so."
Yeah.
And then when the Dolphins have a great game, here comes the overhyper saying, "I told you so." So that's why I hate it when people do that. When it's like, "Oh, dude, watch. Agent's gonna be this guy," or so. It's like, dude, stop. Let the season play out.
Let it play out, bro. That's one number
out.
thing. To me, that what bothers me, what I always call my Twitter GMs and like Twitter fingers, is like the moment something successfully happened, like they're successful, right? You kind of figured it was that. Oh yeah, you see, I told you, Dolphins are gonna be going around. And then the moment they fail, the moment they do something wrong, automatically it's systematically like, oh, we need to make changes. Like, guys, you guys are overreacting on a week-to-week basis. Like, just calm down. Let it play out. The defense, I guarantee you, the same people that are talking about now so highly about our defense, week 1, they wanted to fire Fangio. Week 2, they wanted to fire Fangio. Oh, what is Fangio doing? Fangio doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, guys, relax, bro. He's one of the best defensive coordinators of all times. Two of his main guys are injured. Let them come back. Let them play it out. It's a long season. There's a lot of football. Relax. And I guarantee you, Bob, because I'm telling you this is going to be I think the preview of the AFC Championship, Chiefs versus the Dolphins, it might be a shootout. Then we should be clicking on all cylinders. So when we're playoff times,
I'll tell you right
I
there to
guarantee people are
respond
not going to be talking about this right now.
when after that game, I said it's about Buffalo, Miami last year when Miami lost to Buffalo in the final
Mhm.
game, or not the final game, but their last game playing each other. I said Miami's going to see them again, which they did,
Absolutely.
except they lost in the playoffs. So,
Yes.
but still,
Yeah.
after yesterday's game, I didn't say it live, but I felt
You felt it. You
I
felt
said
it.
we're going to see them again.
Absolutely.
And my
And
final
both teams are going to
prediction.
be better. Both teams
Yeah.
are going to be
Now I
better.
will
than they are
say
right now.
I'm not going to go against my original predictions anymore in regards to these elite teams. If I look at it, and I told Evan, hold me to it. I said, look, if because I felt before the season, like I said, I had Buffalo, Philly, Kansas City, Miami losing to those teams, but the Buffalo game, I said I felt good. I was like, oh, Miami's going to win that. I think Miami could win this game. They lost. I picked Philly to win that game, so I wasn't wrong there. But I chose Miami to beat Kansas City because what you see Miami is doing on offense, and you see the defense is trending up. However, the defense looked really good. It's the offense, for whatever reason, that stutters. And I tell people, look, don't call Miami's pretenders. They're not. They're 6-3 going into the bye in the AFC East. They're number one in the AFC East. They're 4 right now in the conference. They have a whole season to go. Do they look like they're ready to take on the big guys in the playoffs? No, they don't. But they have plenty of time to build that up. The defense is starting to trend up. The offense needs to answer the pretender question. The offense needs to show, hey, look, you can dominate these top 30 defenses and these top 20 defenses, but when it comes time to go against the other defense that's going to be the playoff defense that you got to face, because defense wins championships, you need to step up and score. I said the Dolphins is scoring more than 24 points. They only put up 14. So it's very important for Miami to do so.
I guarantee you this bye week is going to be essential for McDaniel too. You're going to see a different team come out of this bye week, Bob.
Well, again, and if we all project they're going to beat the Raiders, right? So I'm not going to. If they beat the Raiders, I'll be happy. But I'm not going to say, oh, you see, they fixed it. No, they got the Jets coming up right after that, and the Jets, I believe, they're down 14-0, but the Jets are no joke. Okay, they need to beat the Raiders and they need to dominate the Jets. Then we could start talking about, hey, you know what? They're starting to figure this out. So when you
Jets
go
are in
against the
second
Ravens,
place.
Going against the Ravens, the Cowboys, you're gonna end the Buffalo again. You're gonna have to put in some strong performances. I feel comfortable right now with my 11-6 original prediction. I'm comfortable with 11-6. That's my original prediction. And if you count those next three again, maybe splitting the splitting the Jets. You got the Ravens, and whatever else I don't have it in front of me, but I'm still comfortable with that. 12-5 high, 11-6 mid, and anything below that, and God forbid the Dolphins miss the playoffs.
I won't have it. Don't worry.
Let me ask you this seriously, and I kind of made this point yesterday, so I'm not going to get into it too much.
Okay.
But obviously, statistically, Tua should be an MVP candidate.
Yes.
On numbers alone, you look at his numbers, you're like, how can you not? But a point I made yesterday. When we watch most of the games. I watch every game. I know when you watch the games, but most of us watch all of the Dolphin games and see when he has special moments, the plays he makes, and how important he is to the team. That if he is to go down, can you trust Mike White or Skylar Thompson to keep this offense number one in the league? You could say no. We know how important he is. However, when the lights are on, prime time, when he's going against those top 10 defenses, those top 500 teams, he doesn't show that same thing. He struggled against Buffalo, against Josh Allen. He struggled against Pat Mahomes, and he struggled against Jalen Hurts. Of course, he's not facing those guys, but those guys are on the other side. Those are his counterparts. Statistically, he should be an MVP candidate. Realistically, based off that, because those big media wigs are watching those primetime games and he shrinks, he's not an MVP candidate. Would you still think he should be considered, or would you say, no, you know what, that does matter? He has to show up in those games.
I think absolutely he should be considered, because those big games you're going against top defenses that will affect how you play. Obviously, you need to step above that. I believe that's the last step he's going to overcome. But just an example, because it is Tua, let's say Tom Brady was the one throwing to Cedric Wilson yesterday. that same exact throw. There is no questioning whatsoever that it was miscommunication. No questioning. The fact that it was Tua, people
Uh,
automatically question. It's true.
no,
It
no,
is 100% true.
no.
If
Because Tom Brady would have made that throw,
no, but that's what I'm saying right here.
but it's history. I mean, it's fact.
Peyton Manning does that same throw, and the receiver runs up, and
He
Peyton
could, he
Manning
would
throws
probably made that
under.
throw in his last year in Denver because he had no
No,
more arm strength left.
but you know exactly what I'm talking about
Yeah, but you
because
see,
of
you
the
making
fact
it.
who
You're
was throwing it.
but you
Because
see,
it's true.
I don't know.
It's true, man. It's
You're making it
anybody.
a personal thing. You think
No,
it's a
I'm not.
personal
No,
vendetta
no,
against
no,
Tua
no. I'm
because
not
Tua
saying
had
it's
a bad
personal
game. Oh,
vendetta.
we're only analyzing because he's had a bad game because nobody likes Tua. That's not true.
It's overanalyzing what Tua does right and what Tua does wrong. It is. He's under the microscope. I think
You
you cannot
so
say that.
so you can't say he had a bad game yesterday. You don't think
Oh,
he had a bad
he
game?
had a bad game. I don't think he had a
Okay,
good
so
game.
what's up?
But I was just using that example of that throw. Any other quarterback makes that throw, and without question, people are like, "Oh, that has to be a
Yeah, but if that
miscommunication."
was one game, then
Uh-huh.
no one's gonna overanalyze it. But it's not one game. It's 3 games. It's not one game. It's 4 years of a career now that he's had
Mhm.
those moments in those big games where he comes up short. Remember, the question never was, is Tua a good quarterback in
Yeah,
his career? Because
it's can he
he's a
come up
good
in those
quarterback.
games against top defenses? That's
How
gonna
does he
that
doesn't how he
Mhm.
come up big in December, show up in December, stay healthy. And these games kind of count as those December games because these are playoff games and he
Mhm.
comes up short. And that's what I'm saying. It's not about, if he did this and like you said, oh, let's use Tom Brady. If Tom
Mhm.
Brady did this, no one's going to overanalyze that one but dumb throw because he's Tom Brady. And secondly, he has a whole career showing that he's made the elite throws and he comes
Mhm.
up in big moments and he's won the Super Bowls and the AFC Championship and so forth. Tua is still 4 years in. He has the microscope on him because he was the 5th overall pick in the NFL draft. He's on his player option. He's supposed to be your franchise quarterback. He's supposed to be the guy that leads you to the Super Bowl, but he doesn't come up in those big moments. So now the microscope is on here. Dude, are you saying that because maybe you got to show you're above that? You got to show that you can put the team on your back and
Mhm.
lead them. You can't rely always on Tyreek Hill or these other guys. Cedric Wilson wasn't Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like you said, if it was Tyreek Hill, he makes that catch, because he knows Tyreek Hill can save him. But it's not. It's Cedric Wilson. And you go, wait, dude, he wasn't there. Okay, maybe that was the play, but then you got to adjust during that play and make that throw. Tom Brady makes those throws. But because he's not Tom Brady, of course you're going to overanalyze because, again, the 5th overall pick, 4th year in his career, is teetering on expectations, has shown that he could be a good to great quarterback, but he shrinks in those moments. And he has to show that he's better than those moments. I heard the same conversation last year, Bob. And that's why we're having these conversations again. That's why. That's why we
Look,
overanalyze it.
I'll tell you this right now. This schedule coming up, I know we play the Commanders and the Raiders, but this schedule coming up where we have
The Jets
Jets,
twice.
Cowboys, Ravens, that stretch will define this year, will define Tua. And I'm not even talking about playoffs. That stretch alone, because you're coming off 3 games that you had the opportunity, and the narrative is going to be there. And until you win, the narrative will only continue to grow. And the only way to kill the story is by winning a football game. Now, granted, is it going to help that the defense is in the up? Absolutely, 100%. You saw it yesterday. If the defense is struggling, yesterday we get blown out. The defense kept us in this game. The defense gave life to the offense and allowed the offense to come back. So I think the perfect storm could be brewing, where after the bye week, you have someone that is locked in. And I just think, in the same regards as when McDaniel was hired, in these moments, Tua tends to tense up. I don't know why. He just has to play loose, man. If like that's why I
Well,
don't mind. I don't
I
mind when he
agree with.
throws an
Yeah, yeah,
interception,
yeah.
because when he throws an interception, to me,
He
he's
makes up
letting
for it.
loose. He's letting loose, bro. When he's conservative, you have these games that he throws for 190 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. He plays not to make a mistake. I need to just to go for it. That's when this offense is completely fluent. That's why every time he gets an interception, I'm like, oh, here we go. That's it. It's comeback time, because he's playing football. So I don't know if it's extra conservatism, which I don't believe is McDaniel infused, because McDaniel's not that type of head coach. He wants the players to perform. I guarantee you McDaniel wishes he had some play calls back, which is part of his learning curve. And
He's in
I
his
was
second
even,
year. I'm not ready to
yeah, it's
dump on
normal,
him.
man. It's
But I will
normal.
say, and it's a hooked up Joe again. Hooked up Joe. I appreciate you watching. You can't adjust when throwing with anticipation to a spot. To be
Yes,
fair,
that's true.
that's why it's a
100% true.
okay. And here's my again. It's the same thing when I say you have years of experience in whatever. Again, earlier in that game, Joe, I'm sure you were watching when it was that hike spot to Durham Smythe. Jalen Waddle's wide open. He's throwing to a spot. He knows on a play, you got Tyreek, Waddle, Smythe, or Smythe was over here. You got Moultrie behind you. These are your guys. Okay, but Smythe is your intended target because you got to get that first down. Okay, Smythe's my target. Hike, Smythe. You don't really, and it's same thing here. It's, my target's to be Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson's going this way. Hike, instead of going, he just broke free, wide open, touchdown. You don't do that. Same thing with Smythe. You go, okay, we got the first down, but we didn't score in that drive. It was first down. You got the first down, but you could have had a touchdown. Jalen Waddle was wide open. You didn't read the defense. You went right to your spot. You went according to script. And that's the difference between the big boys to the mid guys. You have to be better than that. And like you said, Alex, again, if he comes up big, if he gets big against the Cowboys, or, you got the Ravens coming up, Buffalo again, he shows up, then that narrative starts to get killed. That's when he has to start to show up. Mm-hmm. You got the Jets on Black Friday at 2 p.m. That's prime time. It's not under the lights. It's during the day. We'll be watching that together.
Prime time during the day. I like that.
But it is, right? It is a national game. So that's a game where he's going to have to show against a strong defense. Despite what's happening now, I don't see the score in front of me. If anybody want to follow us up on what's going on with the Chargers and the Jets.
I'll let you know.
But the Jets is a game. It's in the division. They're second place. Miami has to show a strong game, and that would be a great game for Tua to come up. Obviously, if he beats the Raiders, we're all going to be happy. But what does that prove? Have a great game against the Jets. Then you got the Commanders. Then you got the Titans. The Jets again on December 7th. Cowboys, Ravens, Bills. Those last three games have to be strong games. Hopefully, maybe the Bills, you can sit. You can say, hey, you know what, Tua, take a seat. Let's wait till the bye week or the wild card game.
Chargers up 14-3.
14-3. So there you go. But
second quarter, 2-minute warning.
Look, it's not the end of the world. It sucks because it's a loss. Man. It's the Dolphins are 6-3. They're first in the AFC East. Think about that for a second.
Off-season. I would have told you we're 6-3 in the bye week, first in the AFC East. People are like, yeah, fuck yeah, I told you to do it.
But where are the Buffalo Bills? They're kind of dipping a little bit.
Remember, I always talk to you about this. Like every time during the offseason, I was like, there's something going on with Buffalo. They don't seem right. I know they beat the shit. I think Buffalo played their best game against us.
Let's put Joe's comment up here.
Can we say that, Bob? Can we agree to that? Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they played a better game.
Say it again.
Do you think the last great game Buffalo played was against us?
Yeah.
That was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did they miss anybody? Has someone go down that I'm not aware?
Yeah. Tre'Davious White is gone. They're secondary. That's why their defense is starting to dip.
Secondary. That's true.
Yeah. But, still, you got to – to me, that's why I don't really like the whole Dolphins are injured thing. It goes the same thing with the Bills.
Everybody.
Next man up. If you're that good, show up. And again, the secondary for the Dolphins did show up. Those Kader Kohou looks a lot better with Jalen Ramsey back there.
Of course.
Think he's made Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey's made Kader Kohou look like $1 million. I don't even remember Cam Smith most of the time, which is kind of sad. That I'm not going to say that's a miss because let's give it a couple years.
Yeah, you got to give it a year too.
We'll see.
Anyway, it's a depth piece.
6-3, first in the AFC East. Raiders. Again, the Jets are a team that I'm kind of like, ooh, it's going to be a tough one. But the Raiders, the Commanders, who are a strong team as well, the Titans, the Jets, again, those games, imagine if Miami could win out those games. Yeah. And then where they're going to be on the record. Then they got the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bills. All right, what are they? 6-3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, and 3 at that point. Okay. Yeah. And again, can I quote unquote say that's realistic? No, they could drop a game here. Obviously, the Jets. I think they could split between the Jets. I honestly do. I think it would be great if the Dolphins could sweep the Jets, but the way the Jets are and the way those games go between the Jets and the Dolphins, right now I see it as a sweep. I mean, as a split.
I'm gonna say right now, bro.
Either way,
Raiders is a win. Jets, it's a win. Commanders, we're gonna win. Titans, we're gonna win.
If you and I are watching that game together.
Yeah, Jets are gonna win. Against the Jets, what's another win? I think we'll beat the Cowboys. We're gonna lose to the Ravens, and we beat the Bills. So we finished 13-4.
So for me, and again, just going based off of this here, Miami's strong at home.
Mhm.
Again, and of course I'll analyze it more as the weeks go on because that's what I like to do. I like to look at the rankings, I
Yeah.
like to look how teams do, and then I make my predictions. But right now, if you're asking me right now, and I'm going to say it as we go here, and then this is just unofficial, and I could go back to my preseason predictions or whatever. But right now, Raiders I see as a win. I would love to see the Dolphins beat the Jets at MetLife on Black Friday, obviously because I'm gonna have my brother with me.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to see the Dolphins win. But it's at MetLife. Miami struggles away from home. It's an interdivisional game. How the weather's going to be, I don't know. So let's say they drop that one because I say they're going to split. Okay. Commanders, I can see Miami winning that game. Titans, I definitely see Miami winning that game. It's at home. I see them beating the Jets.
Is that a Monday night game or Sunday night game?
December 11th.
Yeah. Hold on, let me check.
Let's see if my thing.
That's a Monday night game. Yes.
Monday Night Football. Oh,
yes,
damn,
sir.
It's prime time. Son of a bitch.
Boom.
Okay, I'm going to change my prediction now. Wait. So.
And it's here at home for sure. Yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10. So 10-4 for facing the Cowboys, the Ravens, and the Bills.
Yeah.
And I had us at the beginning of the season, before the season, losing to the Bills at first and then beating the Bills. So that's already 11 wins because I'll have us beating the Bills at home in Miami. Cowboys and the Ravens, those are your key games. Of course, the Buffalo Bills is a key game, but I'm saying that's your
Bro,
you got to put your
that
big boy
December
pants on.
stretch, Jets,
And
Cowboys,
now we're calling the
Dolphins.
Miami Cowboys. Did you see that?
Yeah, because the
They're calling us
Cowboys
the
are the
Miami
AFC. Yeah.
Mother effers.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, Alex did. That's it.
I'm
for
gone.
Alex.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. He's back. And right now, let me just give an update right now. 7 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Heat are up by 10, 100-90. That's
a nice game, bro.
Right,
and Bob, I was gonna text you, man. Do you remember when you text me the day before the game before that they were starting Jaime at the 4? Remember what I text you? Who should they have been starting?
Highsmith.
I turn on the next game and I'm like,
I saw Highsmith there.
Bro.
Yeah, I saw
he started.
I did.
And I'm like, Spo loves to do that, man. When he experimented with Hackett, I'm like, I know what he was trying to do, but it kind of doesn't benefit Jaime, and it removes that key piece off your bench because Jaime plays better with that second unit. He's basically Jimmy Butler, where you can stagger the minutes and you can play them side by side, but you kind of lose Jaime a little bit if you just have him to be a spot-up shooter. Now he plays more of his role, even with Jimmy, and they were playing very fluent together today, man. It was a nice. Hey, and I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Kyle Lowry is really stepping up this year. He's in great shape. He's playing great minutes. So I'm gonna take back everything I said about Kyle Lowry, and he's being productive. If we get this Kyle Lowry for the remaining of the year, there might be a chance that we don't move him come trade deadline. But I'm pretty sure Miami's still gonna entertain anything that comes our way. And man, it's going to be an interesting start because I feel that we're going to go on a roll. And Milwaukee, have you seen Milwaukee, Bob, defensively struggle like we talked about when the trade happened? Dude, they have no one to stop anybody. Team defense. And I think that's going to be the downfall of Milwaukee, man. Not only do you trade for a caliber of Dame Lillard, obviously he's not a great defensive player, but you also have a rookie head coach in Griffin. So there's going to be some struggles there.
Oh, there's going to be hiccups for sure. You know? But no doubt they're going to be there in the end, dude. Or one of the teams that closer to
for
the
sure,
end,
for sure. Look, the Celtics came out on top, but look now the other news: Robert Williams. He's going to miss. Needs to have knee surgery. Boston has fucked up a few of people's careers. Isaiah Thomas, Robert Williams, like their medical staff or their front office staff or their coaching staff, they haven't taken care of their players, which to me is a flag there because you even traded Marcus Smart after you told him that you weren't going to trade him. You basically ended the career of Isaiah Thomas because he was never the same player again. There's a trend there where I can understand some of these players getting upset at front offices and coaching staffs because I think we take it for granted because Miami does overprotect their players at times. Like I don't remember Miami mismanaging a player's injury or health situation, even to their own fault. Chris Bosh for a while was upset at the Heat front office because they thought that they were just trying to retire him to get rid of his contract. And they're like, Chris, we're looking out for you, man. Like, this is greater, health is greater than sport at any given moment. But I don't feel franchises across the NBA do that as well as some. So we might take it for granted because it's homegrown
Yeah,
here.
because the truth is that the Heat at that time with Chris Bosh is a whole lot better
Absolutely.
than without him. You know, if we would have Chris Bosh, that would have been a different thing. And let me just say, first off, Ray is going to attend the Monday Night Football game against the Titans, which is pretty damn cool. So they are for sure going to win because of that, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
You know,
there's no way around that.
Right now, okay, good. It's a 5-point game, 195. He'd have the ball. You know, good for Tyler Hero. Oh, wait. Tyler Hero just hit a 3. I just said good for Tyler. He just hit an 8-point lead. Hey,
Bam is playing at another level. Tyler's playing at another level. And you're seeing
Jimmy's starting to come back around, which is great. 23 points today.
But Bob, this is crazy. It's a transition year because you see now, Jimmy does not have to be the focal point of this offense. Jimmy could be one of his creators, a defensive menace. Like this team could be built around Bam and Tyler scoring, playmaking, and you can build around that. Sorry, you were going to say something. I cut you off.
No, you're good. I want to talk is Duncan Robinson, another guy that people throw around for trade bait, which obviously contract wise, you know, his ceiling, etc.
That contract is looking nice right now.
the fourth most important player on this basketball team. Right
Absolutely.
Now.
Absolutely.
I mean, bringing those points off the bench. What are your thoughts on Duncan, man?
Oh, no, man, you know how I felt about Duncan. I felt it was criminal what Spo has done to Duncan these past years. I understand the Max Strus elevation, but I always felt that Duncan was at his best playing next to Bam in that starting unit, and he kind of had a down year. He had 2 down years, really. Maybe the pressure of the contract. That was the first year, not having a defined role. But I still don't know why Spo didn't find a role for him because – especially last year, our offense struggled so much to generate any offense aside from Butler in Hero when he was healthy, that Duncan Robinson unlocks so many triggers just because of his gravitational pull. Like he unlocks everything. He was born to play next to Bam because if there's one thing that you know about Duncan, now he's comfortable playing like he used to play in the Skyforce. He's putting the ball on the ground. He's driving to the hoop. He's getting contact. He's improving defensively. Tyler Hero's improving defensively. But Duncan unleashes so much of your offense because it creates triggers that you have multiple screens. Duncan doesn't stop moving. He's always at the right place at the right time. He rarely makes turnovers. He rarely is the cause of any turnover because he usually makes the right play. So I'm just happy for him that he finally is getting an opportunity to be a rotational player, and he's going to show what he's worth. And he's arguably the best shooter in the NBA right now once again. He's shooting, I think, like 30. Well, Tyler Hero's even shooting better from 3, which is insane because of the volume. I expected this from Tyler Hero, and it's incredible that he's doing this, Bob, with what is considered a lost art in the NBA, which is the mid-range jump shot. He leads the league in pull-up jumpers and is one of his most effective shots. Like Tyler Hero has reinvented himself. Well, it's just part of an evolution of him. I don't think he reinvented himself. People just don't understand who Tyler Hero is. And there are things that you can't teach. Tyler Hero is a hooper. He can get a bucket whenever need be, and he's not afraid of the moment, which this team kind of has that mantra with Jimmy Butler not being afraid. Bam Adebayo today. Bam's game has taken another step. And you could even say Spo has misused at times Bam. And I know I'm not saying that lightly, but Bam can initiate your offense. That's why I always said you don't need a traditional point guard. Now Lowry is playing decent with that starting lineup, and that's why I wanted Highsmith there, because Highsmith removes any necessity. You don't need to run a play for Highsmith. Highsmith is a defensive, a small power forward, and he hits threes at a high percentage. So you can play him right into any offense. You have the lanes for Jimmy. You got the lanes for Bam. You let Hero work. You got Kyle spotting up, directing the offense. Like there's so many things that you can do within your motion that you just playing basketball, and it unleashes everything. And Duncan, this is what the Heat envisioned Duncan being when they signed him to that contract, because this was the next step of his evolution. Max Strus came along, and you can argue if Max doesn't come along, Duncan is a regular rotational player. I don't. His shot was off. You can tell it wasn't mechanics; it was just mental. You see Duncan Robinson playing confident, and when he's going up, you rarely think he's gonna miss. That's the point that we're at right now, and it's just gonna come clicking. People were freaking out. Like, remember, I messaged you this. I'm like, look, Twitter's gonna go crazy because we're 1-4. Let I even say let Caleb Martin comes back. One of the key things that is difficult, Kevin Love. Kevin Love has taken a back seat. He's gonna have a limited role. They're gonna say he is gonna have a role down the line. Kevin Love's role is spot up minutes, mentoring the young guys, and continue to grow. Kevin Love will give you decent minutes, but Highsmith opens up that offense to greater measures with who we have. So I think it's a building process. You got to trust it. And this team is okay. They're going to be okay because they have what they need to compete in the East. The only one that should give us trouble in the East is Boston. And look how we matched up with them. So we have shooting, we have decent scoring, and we have great defense. And it's only going to get better.
I think you're right on. And again, Miami. I've always said this, and I said it last year before we made the final in the play. That before the playoffs, I said Miami's a better playoff team than they are a regular season team. The Heat trend up, and they go down. It kind of like it always goes like this, and we go deal with injuries as every team does. Credit Jimmy right now, who people have been bashing with this early season performance, but he is at 28 points today's game against the Lakers at 33 minutes. 22 points for Tyler, 22 points for, triple double for Bam Adebayo today.
And
17
Bob,
rebounds.
sorry to
10
interrupt you.
assists,
One thing you're gonna notice. Watch this, and they've made a habit. Remember when I told you that when defense gives you space, take the shot?
Yeah.
Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, and Thomas Bryant, all these people that you wouldn't think are gonna start taking 3-point shots. The way to hold the defense accountable is they give you space, take the shot. Even if you miss it, you continue to take the shot because eventually defense have to come to you. And what does that create? Either dribble penetration, more lanes for other guys, constant cuttings. And who does that benefit? Duncan Robinson. Like people think I'm being a homer, and I'm like, this is just basketball 101. We can have one of the most balanced attacks, both offensively and defensively. We have the personnel. People just have to trust it. People have to trust it. I know we didn't get Dame Lillard. I know we didn't get Bradley Beal, but it's okay. When you compare and you put Dame Lillard and you put Bradley Beal side by side with Tyler Hero is producing at an all-star level. Tyler Hero right now is playing all NBA basketball, and so is Bam. If we had to pick all-stars right now, your two all-stars are Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. This is your future. He's 23. Bam Adebayo is 26. I'm telling you, this is going to be the Denver Nuggets build where you're going to have these guys for a generation. You're going to have these guys for 10 plus years. We're going to win multiple championships. People just need to be patient.
Sorry, making a note very quick.
That's fine. And yes, I did guarantee multiple championships with Hero and Bam Adebayo. I did just do that because I do genuinely believe that 100%.
Who and who?
With Bam and Hero as part of your nucleus, which I compare to the Denver build, like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jovic, you're going to have multiple championships. Remember this day. People are going to laugh.
So, listen, let me just first say before I want to say what I'm going to say. When I say I love this guy, I really do. I mean, this is my brother. And I mean that. This ain't friendship. This is brothers. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh. And this guy knows his shit when it comes to basketball. Playing basketball, teaching basketball. We had a lot of fun playing together growing up. I enjoyed having him on my team, but I also enjoyed being against him because then I make him foul me and I get free throws and things like that. But when it comes to Heat predictions,
here we go. The only one you got, bro. The only one.
No,
you got.
it's one and one, baby.
Justice
There's
Winslow.
one-
It's on one side. That's it.
That's two.
That's it,
That's
bro.
two.
That's it.
I love this guy, man. When this dude does it, it's a jinx, boy. He
Hey,
just
I'm
screwed up.
telling you, bro.
The Heat are effed. Go for the number one pick.
Wow.
Lose every game.
Lose every game.
Bam's fucked. They're all messed up now. He just jinxed the hell out of us. I felt good about this team until he made look. No, they're down by 1 point. Oh no, they're down by one. The Lakers are down by 108. He jinxed the hell out of us. He's
the
done
Lakers
it.
are down by one. It's a 1 point game.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
Alex.
Crunch time. Crunch time.
Oh my goodness.
Crunch time.
What
What's the score?
It's 108-107.
Oh man. How many minutes? Like 2 minutes left?
48 seconds.
Oh man, this is a
Hold
game.
on. LeBron has the ball. LeBron's driving is walking up court.
Turnover.
He's letting the time run.
Yeah.
38
He's gonna
seconds.
take a pull-up jumper.
It's 108-107.
Left pull-up jumper.
Alston Reeves for three. Misses. Rebound. Heat.
Yep.
Kyle Lowry now up court. 27 seconds remaining.
They're gonna let him play. They're gonna let him play.
They're gonna let him run it out. Kyle's holding the ball. He's
Tyler
chilling.
Hero's gonna make a bucket,
Got
baby.
12 seconds on the game clock. Or excuse me, on the play clock. 15 seconds on the game. Here comes Kyle. Kyle driving. Let's see, that was Jimmy there. Oh, for three. Bang! Adebayo?
Yes, sir.
Was that Adebayo hit the three?
Told you. He already made one today.
Wait, show that replay. They ain't show no replay?
Do we care? Yes, the U. Yes, of course we care. Woo!
Are you kidding?
You win, baby.
Of course we care about the U. The U.
You don't even know me.
Who are you?
Who are you? Who is this?
She sent me you know what she sent me today?
What?
This is my wife. I just got off the phone with you. This is what she sends me. Where is it? Alex and Jamila are arriving at Nashville on the 19th. We could go out for dinner on the 20th on Monday. We will host dinner here Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Wednesday, every man for themselves. Thursday, we will host Thanksgiving. Friday, we can have leftover Thanksgiving for lunch and invite them. I'm like, Taco Tuesday? And she wrote, what? And she goes, they'll go to Kentucky and Memphis. I'm like, I know that already. I'm like, we can't do it. She's prepping for so Taco Tuesday is simple. They did Taco Tuesday the one day I wasn't there in Miami, and all of a sudden now they want to make it a thing. There you go. Taco Tuesday might not be happening.
We're going to Kentucky.
Lord.
We're going to Kentucky. That's
what I told her. I was like, I thought they were going somewhere. I don't know. I'm waiting for the missionary. Like, the missionary?
Itinerary. A missionary. Oh, you gonna get that missionary, girl?
All day.
All day, baby.
All the day.
In Kentucky, anywhere.
Oh, here we go. So 108, 107. Oh, wait. Did not count?
What happened?
The three didn't count. Did he step out? It's 8 seconds remaining. LeBron has the ball. LeBron goes up. Shoot to. Rebound, Miami. Ball game. Miami win 108, 107.
Perfect. Beautiful.
So I don't know what happened with that 3-point shot because he made it. But I don't know if he stepped out of bounds. I don't know if there was an illegal block or whatever. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Miami Heat win. Heat come to 3-4 on the season. Lakers will drop 3-4. So both teams now 3-4. Bam Adebayo, 22 points. Jimmy Butler, 28 points. Tyler Hero, 22. Kyle Lowry, 5. Bam Adebayo, though, 19, 10, 22. He had 19 rebounds, 10 assists, 22 points.
Jesus
Great
Christ,
game.
man.
Highsmith had 5 points. Duncan Robinson, 12 points. He was 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Richardson, who our friend Clutch has been ragging on him pretty hard on Twitter. Only had 3 points. Jaime, I love that guy, but he two rebounds, 1 assist, 9 points. He's a what, man? I can't wait to see what he grows into, dude. I mean, Jovic, though, did not see any playing time today.
No, he was out. He was out. Jovic was out. He's hurt.
Kevin Love, there was not in the game today. But anyway, let us continue here. 22,
That is
17, and
great,
10.
man. Jim, you see this part that you see Jimmy now is starting to get comfortable. Like the rust is off. This is the Jimmy that we need, where he's not forcing anything. He's shooting high percentage shots. He's getting his teammates involved. Like Jimmy can. You know what's insane, man? We have 4 or 5 people that can average 5 assists a game. Like this team is unselfish. Like you can have on any given night. Obviously, Kyle will give you 5. Jimmy will give you 5. Hero's gonna give you 5. And the reason guards are rebounding so well is the 3-point shot. Obviously, the volume is going up. The further you shoot, the further the rebound. So that's why these guards are averaging 6 rebounds a game, 5 rebounds a game. That was unheard of before. Like you can be a good rebounding guard, but now the numbers are just strategically high, man. Just happy we won, bro. We needed a back to back, especially at home. Now we go to Memphis. I think Memphis is our next opponent, if I'm not mistaken.
And
I
just
don't
to
know if
talk
tomorrow
about the
is.
Hurricanes, there was their first game of the season, I believe, today. They're obviously the 13th ranked team in NCAA. They won 101-60 against the Highlanders. Of course, they were going to win that game, Tati.
Yeah, usually that's just a warm-up game.
Omer had 20 points. Cleveland had 16 points. Poplar had 21 points. Talk about the Hurricanes. I did. Let me check on something.
No, let's not talk about Van Dyke. I really hope Van Dyke doesn't play again, man. Like, oh my God, we got FSU next week,
Yeah, we
and
do.
they're favored by I think like 15 points.
Van Dyke, man, what happened, dude? What happened?
I don't know what happened to this offense. It looks like they just disappeared.
So much.
It all
Right.
came crumbling down after that loss at home to
Yeah.
who was
Well,
it?
it was a boneheaded decision by Cristobal
Oh my
back then, which maybe it just killed them. It just killed them. Next time I won't tell you shit.
Learn how to speak. I love the way that our plans are forever here via chat on our podcast.
I know. Everybody will know. Well, that's what this show's about, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
Transparency. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Oh, you could talk too. Yeah, plenty. You can say something too. You gotta wait on me.
I just love the optics of just watching people do something in their everyday.
Dude, you know me, brother. I'm all. Let's read Tati. Let's read some of Tati's text live on air.
Let's go. Oh, this is the next session. This is awesome.
Let's go.
You should pick a random date.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna keep scrolling, and I'm just gonna. That's gonna be like a. No, those are pictures. Can't see
that. Oh, this actually, I'll actually hire Anthony. I hire Anthony. I think this is a great hire. The Marlins making Peter Bendix.
Oh, talk about that, Alex.
Oh, dude, making him the president of baseball operations. He's been a GM. He started from the bottom in Tampa Bay, and he's been a GM there, which signified two things to me. Obviously, they want someone to be able to identify talent, scout it, sign it, draft it, and obviously, Tampa Bay is a small market team. Realistically, the Marlins are always going to be a small market team, no matter how much we win or we don't win, because unfortunately, that's the way it is. We don't sell as many tickets as we should. We don't have the fan support that we should. I do believe the organization and Sherman is committed to winning. We have the right people in place. You just don't want to plateau and trade off some of this talent. I do believe you should get Arias signed to a long-term deal. I do believe you should get Jazz signed to a long-term deal because it shows commitment to the fans. Kind of like what they did with Stanton at the time, that they overpaid for Stanton, but it ended up being a good contract. So those are things to me that I think we're in the right direction. I think he's a perfect person for this job. Obviously, I'm going to miss Ing, but if there's anybody else that could run this organization based on where they come from and the experience that they have, is this guy. The Tampa Bay Rays have been competitive for the last, I want to say, 6-7 years, and he's been an integral part of that. And they're small market. They have one of the lowest payrolls all time. So you have to be able to field competitive rosters and identify key free agents that you're going to sign. You're going to have to be not frugal, but you got to be careful with how you spend. And I think he's the perfect man for the job. Do they hire a general manager to work under Peter? Yeah, usually even if you have a president of baseball operations, you have a GM because obviously secondary knowledge as well, someone to bounce ideas off. The final call is still going to be Peter, no matter what. But a GM kind of handles those calls, kind of handles the day to day, kind of like the Heat with Andy Ellisberg and Pat Riley. Pat Riley's the president of basketball operations. Andy Ellisberg is the GM vice president. But all those calls are Andy. Andy's the one on the phone talking to people, negotiating, obviously based on what Pat wants, but you should hire a GM to handle the day-to-day operations of the team.
Multiple champions of the 2K franchise.
Hey, man. I'm telling you, people, I guarantee you, people were saying the same thing about Murray.
Do the Charles Barkley. Do the Charles
7
Barkley.
years ago. So,
Yeah.
Charles hey,
Barkley.
Man. Yeah. Heroes 23, Bam is 26. You can build around them twice, and you're good to go. On international side, spend more money.
Did you see what LeBron James said about the Miami Heat?
Oh yeah, but the franchise, that's one of the best.
I love this franchise. This is this franchise is top tier. It's one of the best franchises in the world.
Absolutely, man. And I understand.
I love you, son.
But I don't know if you saw my redesign. Did you see how nice the court looks with all black around and the black paint?
Yeah.
Like it looks so much nicer than that red and that yellow. Like I'm trying to. Don't get me wrong. I love our logo. I want our logo to stay in the middle, but I want to go back to the black paint look. And we still have the baseline sideline black, but we go into this yellow red in the paint area. We need to go back all black with the 2 shades of red and orange. Like I want to go back to that. I do. You know what? I know the Heat might not consider it, but Bob, I do believe that with these culture uniforms, I guarantee you the Heat are thinking about a small rebranding color-wise. They're not going to change everything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to their colors of like that orange and red and get rid of that yellow, that super, super yellow. So I wouldn't be surprised if they start tinkering with that and they find a way because they haven't redesigned their uniforms in 20 years. The Heat right now is like a classical uniform like the Yankees, something that you don't want to touch, but you might do a color touch up, like a little, refurbishing of it. But you don't want to redesign that uniform. They're standard uniforms. The Miami, the Heat, the away uniform. You're always going to have city uniforms and the throwbacks, which is cool. And honestly, people don't realize this, but the fonts on these culture uniforms, Bobby, are the original fonts without the shading and the border. Like those uniforms, the numbers on the uniforms right now in the Heat culture is the actual font of their original uniforms. So if you notice like the 3 and all that, it has the dot, like the little square. It just doesn't have an outline and the shading behind the outline. But those are the original numbers. And I think they look super cool with those uniforms, especially over those italicized ones.
Hey, let me ask you, because I've got some random questions for you.
Go ahead.
We'll wrap it up, but very quick.
Okay.
How was Halloween with the family?
Oh, man, it was super fun. We got to go around. I was a little late. I must admit, I was a little late to my son's trick-or-treating because our practice ran late. So I had to rush over to my house, get my messy bodyguard costume on. And my son was already with my wife and my in-laws at and my brother-in-law and all that at their community. So they were already trick-or-treating around. I did see less kids around this year. I don't know why. Like, I don't know if it died down a little bit over here.
Is it maybe because you were late and everybody went home?
Probably. Could be that. And my daughter was trick-or-treating with her friends. She's already too old, too cool to be with mom and dad and her little brother. So she was out with her friends.
I ain't playing like that, boy. Dude, I can't get over it. I was telling Tati the other day about that for AJ. I go, every time I hear AJ on the phone and she starts talking to me, I think
she sounds just like Jamila.
And I think, and then I realized, oh crap, no, it's AJ.
It happens to my dad over here in the house.
Does it really?
My dad will be watching TV, obviously with the back to the whole, because obviously my dad's a little section over there by the dining room. Like you have his TV there, and he's just watching TV in his chair. And when she'll say hi or something, my dad thinks it's Jamila and starts talking to her like if she was Jamila, and she's like, no, I was AJ. Oh, AJ, because they sound identical, man.
Dude, it's crazy. You know how I can tell when I realize it's her when she starts saying, I can't wait to see you, which I know that's not Jamila. And when she says like, I want to go ghost hunting, I'm like, oh, that's Jamila.
That's
That's
Jamila.
AJ. I was like, I know what that is. Now, I think if I remember correctly, I think she called me Bob, which I have to correct.
Yeah. We're gonna get rid of that.
Jamila, that's different. I let Jamila get away with it because I can't argue that point. But
yeah.
AJ, you can call me Theo Bobby. You call me Bobby.
Bobby.
Don't call me Bob.
Add the BY.
Yeah,
add the bye.
Oh.
Bob bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see the kids, man. Let's see. Here we go.
Oh, I love these. I love these random questions.
Oh crap. Okay, no, I'm gonna ask this first. Okay, and then I got a good one. What is a habit you picked up from your parents?
A habit that I picked up from my parents?
From your parents, yeah.
Good or bad? Either or?
Either or maybe I guess. If I don't know, you pick. Good or bad, or both. You could go with it.
A habit I picked up from my parents. Okay, a good habit I picked up was being accountable when it comes to discipline. Like when you're gonna do something, do it. Always do things the right way. Like don't waste your time. Like sometimes I figure even to a fault, because then like you kind of turn into a perfectionist and you want to do everything right. But it's a habit and I even instill it in my players and the people that I coach is if how you do anything is how you do everything. And if I can't trust you with small things, I can't trust you with big things at all. So it's something that for my kids as well is like do things the right way. Like don't waste time.
Yeah.
Like when you do shit wrong, you're just wasting time because you have to correct it either way. So just do it right. Do it right the first time. That's being efficient. So that's one habit I picked up. I would say is good. Bad habit? Let me see. I have older parents, so I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad habit.
Started using Viagra earlier than you're supposed to.
Hey man, whenever I have to, bro. Whenever I have to, man. I don't mind that at all. And when the time comes, I'll be happy I'll be the first one in line. I'll be like, excuse me, I need a refill on this one. Thank you. Double, please, double. So I got no issue with that.
Wife's like, what's that blue thing? It's a Skittle? No, babe, don't worry.
Oh yeah,
for a long night.
You're gonna like it, girl. Mystery flavor.
It's a mystery. It's a blueberry. It's blueberry.
But I would just say like I wouldn't say necessarily it's a bad habit, but I became kind of like a home bird. I love being home.
Yes.
Like, I saw my parents obviously being home people. Like we established that culture where it was like people. I remember people used to hate being home, and I love being home.
Yeah.
Like I love being alone in my house. I got no problem. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad, but it's definitely a habit I get from the culture from them. And typically it's always the opposite because Cuban people, Puerto Rican people, we're loud. We like to go out, party, this and that. But I was always more reserved. I like to be home, hanging out. So I would say that.
I agree with you 100% in regards to that. I'm a home. I'd rather be home chilling out. Like if I'm going out, I'd rather go out for a walk, go to the park, chill, just go for a walk, clear your mind. But I'd rather be.
I don't need
home.
to see people, man.
I don't. That's why, like, dude. Truth be told, like every time I see a picture on Jamila's Instagram of you guys going out to parties, and I look at your face, and I'm like, that poor son of a bitch. I gotta hang him, dude. That dude's like, I'm like, oh, we're going to a bar mitzvah. Why are you going to a bar mitzvah? Going to a baptism, going to a wedding, going to this, going to a birthday party. Like, God, I don't like people that much to go to every little thing. Oh man, God bless you. Tati knows that, and I'm with you, dude. I like going on, and Tati said it already, but I don't know how I did, but I guess I don't want to say turn into, but I could respond like my father. I have traits of my grandfather. I could act like my grandfather.
Yeah.
Mike Sherrill. Sarcasm, etc. But like when I'm disagreeing with something or I don't like something, I mean, my mother-in-law, my mother, my wife have all called mannerisms. I can have mannerisms like my father.
Oh,
I mean, my mother-in-law would say, "Okay, Harry," all of a sudden, because I start going, "What are you talking about? What? What do you mean? Like you don't do it like that. You do it like this." And then they go, "Oh, there's Harry."
You just have a different tone. You don't put the voice.
Yeah, no.
I'm just
myself. I'm myself. But yeah, see what Tati says. I could be my father at one moment, my mannerisms, or I could be like my grandfather.
Yeah. Man, the genetics are strong, bro. I'm telling you, genetics are
Hey.
a thing.
Let's see. What is one goal you have in the near future?
One goal. What is near future? A year?
Sure. Well, yeah. Let's go a year, 5 years. Let's go 5 years. Gives you
5 years? Okay.
Yeah. If you have it, like, is there something you go, man? I want this to be. I want that. I want to do this.
A goal that I have in 5 years.
Try out for the Heat and play at least one game.
No, I'm good, man. I don't got those knees anymore, bro. They hurt, man. They hurt a lot. A goal that I have in 5 years. I would say on the personal level, obviously age to graduate high school, be in her profession, whatever she wants to study. My son to continue to develop, whether it's in sports or school, to continue to do what he loves. But for me, on a personal level,
Yeah.
will be bring some district championships and some regional state championships to our basketball team, to our school that we're just starting the program, and I'm the assistant there. So I would love for that program to be successful, because it's kind of like a build that we have between three people, and we're building a program up, and it's really cool. It's a cool experience that you're establishing a culture, and you kind of not picking the players, because obviously, based on, can't say much, based on where you live, etc., here and there. So you're kind of formulating these teams, and you're selling a vision, and so I hope on a personal level that's what I attain to, some state championships for our basketball team.
Very quick. Anthony Manzano, Bobby, and Alex Fox. This is according to ESPN, Fox Sports, NBC Sports. They're saying Inter Miami has already agreed in principle to contracts with Sergio Ramos and Luis Suarez.
I'm telling you, bro,
Rich get richer.
Me and Ralph were talking about they're building a Leon Medical Center retirement team. Like, they have all the retired players, and they're still studs in the MLS, but they're all awesome. Retired greats from Europe. They're gonna come over and play. I'm telling you, man. Actually, it's funny. I drove my son yesterday by the Inter Miami Stadium, the one in Fort Lauderdale, because we had a tournament by there. It looks pretty cool. It's so small, but it looks so cool. The black and the pink, and I can just imagine what Freedom Park will look like. And they already started building here. They started already laying the groundwork. So they might start building that up real quick. Should be open by 2025.
This is the one that got me to go ooh, and it might be tough. So we're gonna try it though.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap this up. What 3 words best describe me?
3 words that describe you?
Yeah.
Milk and cookies. Let me see. 3 words. I'm gonna say 3 words. Respect. Loyalty. And respect, loyalty, and authentic.
Authentic.
You don't pretend to be something that you're not. You are who you are. You say it whether people like it or not, and that's why we've always gotten along, because I'm the same way. And food.
I can't stand her sometimes. I like that. I like it. I like that you said loyalty. And I put loyal on here.
Oh, I got a better one. 3-1. Right. Just ketchup, please.
Fuck off, Alex. I love it. I have loyalty. I do have loyal on here. I wrote it because it was funny, but it's true. I would say anal. You could be perfectionist. You know what I mean? And Tati might say that about me, which I get very, if it's not perfect, I gotta like take it down and do it again.
You got that from me.
And
it bleed onto you.
Yeah. And I would say family. family.
That's true.
You know, and it might come with loyalty, but when it comes to your
Yeah.
family or somebody you perceive as your family, you know, they're the most important thing you do for them. There's no
Absolutely.
question.
Absolutely,
So those are great. I love that. I love that. When that one, I was like, ooh, that one's good. I was like,
man.
okay.
I love these, man. I
Yeah.
love these random questions because it makes you think out of nowhere. And honestly, when that happens, I think you get the purest answer from people because whenever you have these pre-planned things like these interviews, that's why I hate interviews because interviews like what we air like is all staged, it's all prepped. You have questions that you can ask or you can't ask. I love getting people to answer questions automatically, randomly, because you get their honest answers, whether good or bad. You know, people
For
like.
sure.
I think people are so afraid of being honest with each other or like with other people. It's like, dude, that's being authentic. Just be who you are. If people don't like you, they don't like you.
It's the same
Whatever.
thing as truth. Telling the truth. Just tell me the truth. I
Yeah,
always tell people,
exactly.
I'd rather you be honest with me. Even if I'm gonna
Yeah.
get, I tell my kids, even if it's gonna piss me off, you know, I'll get over it faster than you lying to me and then finding out about it.
Yeah.
I'd rather you be honest with me, be real, because the worst can happen. I get upset. And I was like, okay, but afterwards, I respect you more because you were honest with
You
me.
told me, man. You told me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You know.
Um,
But anyway, awesome. So, guys, all right. So we're at the hour. I know Alex is tired. I
Yes,
am as
sir.
well. We got a long day ahead of us, as always. I
Mhm.
appreciate everyone for tuning in. East 10th Street Boys, straight out of Hialeah. Anthony, Ray, 23423.
I'm telling you, we gotta come up with a name with him, bro.
Joe, everyone watching, whether you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, X, Twitch, Facebook, wherever you're watching, we appreciate you. We thank you so much. Do us a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're a Dolphin fan, well, Heat win. That was a great thing. Heat won tonight. That makes up for the Dolphins loss yesterday. But always like, subscribe, and most importantly, if you're a Dolphin fan, fins up. We'll see you guys next time. Tomorrow for Alex, he'll be on Fast
Yes,
Break.
sir.
Miami Heat
Yes,
Talk.
sir.
Finally. About time. All right.
Thank God.
See you guys.